We always tell people now's the best time. It's, you know, the time to have moved was last year. The second best time is right now. So, you know, now's the time to do that. Where people are responding, the reason why they're looking to leave where they are now. Number one is taxes. So we talked about taxes last time. We'll talk about it again. Property taxes here are really low. If you have a median home at $650,000, you're paying about how much a year?
Oh gosh,
about $1,200.
12 to 1,800.
12 to 1,800 depends on the community. But yeah, the property taxes here are very, very low. We do have income tax, but it is also very low. We keep talking. We moved here from Texas, and people get fascinated with the idea that Texas does not have income tax.
Right.
The problem is they don't need income tax because
they get you on the, and we know we lived there 17 years. We live
there. It is
and
very, very
we
high.
left 9 years ago, and we had not even a 3,000 square foot home. We were paying close to 10,000.
Yeah.
Here, and here when you buy a home, you don't also get a stepped up tax appreciation. California, you buy a house, and then all of a sudden your taxes go sky high because you bought it at a higher price.
Yeah.
We don't do that here. It's pretty much stays the same. I think our taxes are like $2,800 a year or something like that. They may vary $150. It never jumps up, especially when you're buying a newer house.
Yeah. Got one survey back, actually a few, from people who are born and raised in California, and they hate to talk about California because they were born and raised in California. It's always been home. And now they're having to admit to kind of what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's
kind of sad.
Yeah.
We get a lot of Californians who come in town, a lot. Some people are, visibly upset, agitated. Some are almost in tears. Some are, wow, this was my whole life, and I'm being forced. I feel like I'm being forced out. And we understand completely. I mean, because we hear about it all the time. And especially a lot of our folks out there have acquired a nice little nest egg, and they're trying to project out if they continue to live there. And they're realizing that healthy nest egg is rapidly diminishing. Due to taxes. It always seems like, okay, I think after this round of taxes we'll be good. And then something else comes up, or some other catastrophic, event happens, and they're hit again. And so, they just feel like they're kind of being forced out. They're like, we want to retire and live nicely and not lose everything we have over time. What's going to happen when I really need my funds? And stuff like that. So, it's kind of
we get it.
Pickle. No pun intended.
Yeah.
It's a lot of other states out there too that are, we see a lot of people from Washington. We see a lot of people from Oregon, New Jersey. And they're all saying the same thing. Please help us. We just need a break. We want to enjoy what we've worked for. And, so they come here. It's a lot cheaper cost of living. Not so many taxes. We don't tax your Social Security here.
Right.
If you have a pension, if you're a firefighter, police officer, et cetera, you are taxed, but not as heavily as some of the other states for your pension. So we get a lot of folks who come for that reason too. And why not? You should protect what you've worked for.
You always have the right to act in your own best interest.
Correct.
The thing about Californians in Prescott is half the people in Prescott are from California.
So you're outnumbering you are outnumbering the locals.
Yeah, they have some people who are born and raised here during the 1860s, and they knew Wyatt Earp, and they don't like the way Costco has come to town. You find people like that in small towns sometimes, but for the most part, most of our friends are from California. We're not from California. We're from, Louisiana and then Texas before that. Most of the people we know are from extraction, they came from someplace else. And California is by far the most popular. Fire protection, that's a new one. I wonder why people are asking us about fire protection. So Arizona in particular, the Yavapai County, has a very proactive stance when it comes to fire. In the spring, they do a lot of prescribed burns. the firefighting effort for most of the state, I mean, they will go down into Phoenix and everything. Most of the firefighting effort is centered on the airport here in Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
So the Prescott firefighters, you'll when there's a fire afoot, you'll see the planes taking off and everything.
Loading
Very
up the water.
aggressive about it. Yeah. Very proactive.
Very proactive.
You will hear of fires in Arizona. There was the Mayor fire a few years ago. Mayor is about an hour away from Prescott. The reason why it makes the news in Prescott is because the firefighters come out of Prescott.
Right.
It's kind of a rural area. It's very wooded, and sparsely populated. In areas like that, you'll have fires, and most of those are naturally formed. The thing about, I remember the Mayor fire, they went out to assess the situation, and they said, this was like a Thursday, I want to say. And Friday, they said, it'll be out Wednesday, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew exactly.
So they're they're really good about
Very,
planning
very good.
ahead and burning things out.
Yeah.
They don't let anything accumulate so that it's just a tinderbox waiting for a lightning strike. We don't have that here.
Yeah.
And in 9 years of living here, we've never even been requested, oh, everybody should evacuate. Never.
Yeah.
It doesn't really get close. It's always in the outskirts, way an hour or so out.
And
So,
every now and then, the wind will shift, and one of the prescribed burns will have smoke going through town, which is a pain. That's happened a couple of times. We've had smoke from California a few times, but fires out there made its way all the way out here. Other than that, fire's really not that big.
So as of now, you're not required to carry extra fire protection.
Yeah.
I know because of all the fires that have been occurring, especially in California, insurance companies are starting to change and pulling out of certain areas. As of now, I have yet had a client not able to get fire insurance. You don't have to have a separate policy. You don't have to have flood policy or anything like that.
Now, insurance companies can be really stupid.
Yeah.
They'll pull out of a whole state instead of cherry picking, or they'll pull out of a whole area. There've been fires in California, so we're not going to write in Arizona. I mean, you will get some of that, but so far that really hasn't hit us at all.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. All right.
So the other big thing we want to talk about is potential flooding. Houses here, very few, you're not required to have flood insurance, which is, again, we're from New Orleans. Everybody has it. It's got to be mega bucks, $7,000 or $8,000 a year.
I mean, the short answer is we're a mile high. If there's a flood, the world's over. Right. But you do have some low-lying areas. If there's a big thunderstorm where, water will come through. A
monsoon will come over the road.
Yeah, typically our clients don't really go into a lot of those areas. Most of those areas are more like camps as opposed to like a real subdivision.
They might have little lower lying areas. Also, I think I can count on my hands 4 houses that we've sold that required flood insurance.
Yeah.
So FEMA will come in and say, on this particular property, you do have to have flood insurance.
Yeah.
I think it's been 4 houses out of hundreds and hundreds of houses.
And one of them we got rezoned because they were wrong. And
so not a big issue. Flooding is not a big issue here. If we find a house for you with that, we will point that out and say, you should know on this particular one, you're going to have to get flood insurance. Fire insurance, not required to have a separate fire plan.
Yeah, if you're in danger of fire, chances are you're up in the mountains. We do have some very remote homes here. Fires that affect this area, I say this area, within an hour's drive from the city, like Mayor and places like that. Those aren't like subdivisions. Those are like cabins in the woods. And if they're surrounded by trees and there's a fire,
pretty remote. So I have found, even since California, people coming here, that has changed nationwide in terms of offering fire insurance and all that. Fire companies are pulling out of states and stuff like that. So far, knock on wood, we haven't had that someone buying a house and being denied insurance coverage.
But most of the people in the areas that they're going, it's not required and they don't get it. If you're in, let's say, the Hacienda area, lots of pine trees. You want to be really careful about creating a fire barrier, and the fire department will come out and they'll help you how to firewise the home. If you're up in the pine trees and you don't do that, then you're kind of at risk. I still don't know if fire insurance is required.
No, so far I haven't heard any of our buyers having to buy a separate fire.
Yeah.
We haven't had that.
Yeah.
I will say, and the fire department, like he said, will come out and do the FireWise free of charge.
Yeah, free of charge.
And they'll come out and say, you need to get rid of this. And, and really you can do it every year and have them come out.
The fire fighting effort comes out of Prescott. So the guys here in Prescott, they're down in the valley in Phoenix. They're up in Flagstaff. The firefighting effort comes out of the Prescott airport. So it's unlikely that Prescott's going to catch on fire because that's their hometown. So,
so we've been here it'll be 9 years in August. We've never even had to evacuate, come close to it. Because of a fire. The fires are usually farther out from a lightning strike or something like that, an hour out in open fields and stuff like that. Thank goodness that
crime as something to look. The reason why they're leaving where they are now, because crime is very high. Crime, it's hard to find crime here. It's
I will never say.
Never say never.
There's never. I mean, we don't live in heaven in nirvana or whatever. However,
if you're crossing the street downtown, you drop your wallet on the sidewalk, 9 times out of 10,
it'll be turned in.
Someone's going to return it to you.
I have left my wallet in the cart at Walmart. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And
it's there, and somebody turns it in. I mean, how to be brutally frank, the median age here is 58 and older.
58.
So people aren't.
They're easy to run
ambulatory
away from.
enough to grab your purse and make them run for it.
It's hard them.
They're dragging their
oxygen tank. Not a lot of crime.
So I don't want you to think you're going to be subject here to a lot of armed robbery, or your home being broken into, or your cars being broken into. I haven't, in 9 years of living here, I haven't had one friend have a negative experience. Coming from New Orleans, leaving someplace at midnight and walking back to your car, you would be afraid. That is a non-issue here.
We don't have a whole lot of children here. So what the town does is they consolidate their trick-or-treating to a few blocks downtown, the old historic district. And the police will go and they will direct traffic and they put the lights out so everyone can see. And they're just very nice and everyone gets along.
So yes, people are very friendly, welcoming here. It's a super, super friendly town.
It is a laid back town. It is a quaint little town. People like one another. They're kind. I would anticipate that the values, particularly in Prescott proper, will continue to rise as more and more people discover the city and start retiring here. So that's a big question. And the secret there is, better buy sooner rather than later, because prices over at least the long term should be going up. So
we've had a couple of folks who've been looking like 2 or 3 years and couldn't pull the trigger. They regret that because now it's about 200,000 more, 150,000 more, and they're like, I should have done it then. I get it. It's a hard decision, but the more you wait, it just is creeping up.
And we're not getting any younger people. Nope. Moving's going to get harder every year.